somebody asked me like, what is Isha's power and all in part 2. So I said, go and watch the film again. Even somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan coming and doing this cameo in Brahmastra,
Has added so much to the film.
that was his generosity. You know, when
Yeah.
he came out and look at the way the film began. It began with a bang.
Bang.
But to me, when I'm signing a film, I'm not telling myself that I want to do this film so I'll get good reviews or get an award. I think always the greatest reward is box office. Actually,
Part
Roz
of
Raat,
the audience.
Alia and me are actually making part 2 and part 3 stories in our head and we're calling Ayan. Yeah, what if ye hoga?
But we are not confirming only that Deepika is part of part 1 or a part of part 2 yet.
Okay.
Yet.
Hi guys, this is Himesh and today we have with us 3 very special guests, Ayan Mukherjee, Alia Bhatt and Ranbir Kapoor. Welcome to Pinkvilla guys, it's lovely having you here.
Thank you,
Hello,
Vish.
Himesh.
And firstly, how do you feel right now? Relieved? 10 days, 200 crore in India, so much to...
Be happy about
Yeah.
it. Point.
Relieved, excited, tired, very grateful, humbled, learning,
Anxious for the next
absorbing,
week?
listening to feedback, good, not so good, learning, and brain is thinking a lot about the future.
Okay.
So multiple emotions coursing
That's-
through me at least.
And for the two of you?
Well, not as intense as him, but you can take like 80% of whatever he's feeling.
All
They're feeling
lies,
the
they're
same.
damn intense. In fact, I make fun of them saying when the film released and everything, I think they were definitely more, what's the word? Excited
Yeah.
than I was.
Yeah,
Not
that's
so
true.
much.
That's true because Ayan was also, I always believe that after a musician, what a director feels after a successful film is something that an actor will never feel.
Yeah.
An actor actors are like gypsies, right? They keep moving from film to film. But truly what a director feels after finishing a film, and especially a film like Brahmastra, and especially when you've really submitted and surrendered yourself wholly, it's another feeling. It's a musician feeling, it's an artist feeling. So we're very jealous with that feeling that Ayan is feeling. But I think...
But I also get to feel it very rarely. You get to feel it every 6 months.
Yeah, but ours is very-
Alia's
Alia
killing
too
it.
much.
She's felt it 4 times
Yeah.
already this year.
But it's a sasta feeling, it comes and goes. Then you're on to the next.
No, having said that, it's a very unique feeling with Brahmastra because honestly, a complete feeling is not coming only. And we've been waiting for this complete kind of like, abhi, like now it's over kind of feeling we can feel, but that we've
She's
not,
right about that.
it's not happening.
Maybe because there's a part 2 and
Maybe.
it was always part of the plan to call it out. But when it really goes into like pop culture and touches the public, that's the thing. I also thought I would be on a holiday by now, 1 week, no phone calls. But it's not that.
Actually, post Giovanni Ayan, in a week's time, you were in Ibiza. Was it a week or 2 weeks?
No, it's not true. We didn't leave right away. But definitely it was like I was free.
Yeah.
I felt free, On Brahmastra, it doesn't feel like that.
Because you have...
A future,
Yeah, the
we
work
have a lot
conversations are
already on.
are only becoming more, in fact.
Yeah.
And it's always like, of course, the reach 200 crores on its second weekend, and we've got like, so many more days ahead, and there's so much more to look forward to. And you would think right now we'd be sitting and at least, celebrating together and eating a piece of cake and all of that. But that's not happened. Now we're only talking about next day, this theory, that thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just inspired us, like Ranbir said recently. Like what happens when in a situation like this is that you just get more inspired to sort of
keep going.
keep going.
Also, we were talking about this image before the interview. Let's touch upon it. The truth is that, as much as businesses we've already done, we have such a vast country. Obviously, there are a lot of people who've still not been to the cinema to see Brahmastra.
Yeah.
And maybe they've not had time, they've had, kids have had exams, etc. We are still in the cinemas
For a long time.
for a long time, and the festive season is going to begin with like Dussehra going towards Diwali. This Friday on September
16.
23rd
Yeah.
is National Cinema Day. And I feel like Brahmastra is the main offering at the cinemas on National Cinema Day, which is a reduced ticket pricing, a more affordable ticket pricing across all cinemas for people to be able to go and see the film. So I am still very passionate about getting the word of Brahmastra out and, getting people who've not yet had a chance to see the film and experience it to come in and watch it.
And RK and Alia, this question is for you. The marriage between critic reviews and box office is very rare across the globe. And you know, every actor has a phase. There is a phase where they want critical appreciation, and then there is a phase where they want numbers. What phase are the two of you in at this point of time?
I think it's always been numbers, you know, like every film that I've signed from my second film onwards, I've always looked at it like a entertaining film. If it was even a film like Wake Up Sid, or if it was a film like Barfi, or a film like even Rocket Singh, even though it didn't work at the box office. But to me, when I'm signing a film, I'm not telling myself that I want to do this film so I'll get good reviews or I'll get an award. I think always the greatest reward is box office, because cinema is an expensive medium. The more people come and watch it, you know, that's the celebration of cinema. That's the victory of cinema. I don't think awards or reviews matter that much.
So what phase I was in and I kind of am in and I think will continue to be in is, at the end of the day, you want to be remembered and you want to have longevity to your career. And that only happens if your films connect and hit the heart, and there's like a certain love and like it leaves a certain stamp or a mark in people's hearts. No, whether that's critics or the audience or anybody. I think that's something that I've always wanted, कि जो भी है मेरे को प्यार मिलना चाहिए, फिल्म को प्यार मिलना चाहिए और फिर मुझे प्यार मिलना चाहिए as a byproduct. So it's not really, you don't really compare the two. In fact, recently I was asked this question also, if you had to choose between an award and a great review, what would you choose? I said 300 crores at the box office.
Yes.
And ironically, we have hit 360 worldwide gross. So honestly, but अभी हम लोग fake नहीं करते हैं ना. So yeah, love is eventually the greatest response you can get to a film.
True. And you know, RK, I'm not sure if you are aware, but with Brahmastra Weekend, you have touched the 30 crore number in a single day 6 times, which is the third highest for an actor in Hindi cinema.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You know, I will very humbly and gladly accept this superficial compliment that I have done it. But before signing these two films, I have that much of sense that when I was doing Sanju, it was a Rajkumar Hirani film. It was a biopic on Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, that's a really star-proof, actor-proof setup. And then I was doing a film called Brahmastra, which was a fantasy, larger-than-life trilogy, which Ayan was directing. It had Alia in it. It had Alia and my pairing. It had Amitji, Nagsar. It had so much going on for it. Yeah. So I really don't attribute these opening numbers to myself. But like I said, that, you know, we live in an industry where a lot of these tags are given every week. And every week these records are broken. So I'll humbly accept it. But I have that much of sense that I know it's not because of me.
That's interesting and very humble of you to actually...
No, but it's the truth. I'm not trying to be humble. It's the actual truth.
Yeah.
And Alia, you know, when you signed Brahmastra, I think it was July 2014 when the film was announced. You were just starting in the industry. Yeah. From there till now,
correct,
you are the biggest star that we have right now. How do you view this journey from signing Brahmastra to the release of Brahmastra?
I mean, I think at that time also I couldn't believe it. Like, it was still such a big moment for me. I was so grateful to be a part of such a big film. And even now I can't believe it. I still feel so grateful and you know, and honored to be a part of such a big film. And like Ranveer said, I genuinely believe this, and it's through all my years, an actor is just a small piece of the puzzle that the director has envisioned on a much larger scale. So to be a part of this experience, to go down in the records of like his, like, you know, filmography and history, that I played this part in Brahmastra, for me it's a huge moment just of gratitude and like, wow, cool, अच्छा चल रहा है. You know, आगे बढ़ते थे. That's true. Yeah.
And Ayan, you know, I mean, there is a scene right after the interval where we get a glimpse of Deepika.
Do we?
Yes, I have a picture as well. I knew you will ask this because I saw your interview yesterday wherein you said, "Do we?" That's why I got a picture. Also, it's Deepika holding.
I think you've imagined it.
No, we can see it clearly over here.
I think maybe it was in that particular screen.
Sure.
I can't see anything. It's so dark. The face of this actor.
It's what you want to see.
Yeah. They say na, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. What you want to see is what you see.
So you're saying it's there. I mean, come on, everyone is speaking about it. What was the idea of casting? It's a very interesting casting because, you know, we saw RK and Deepika as Bunny and Naina in Ye Jawani, and over here it's a complete different dynamic. So,
but we are not confirming only that Deepika is part of part 1 or a part of part 2 yet.
Okay. So
हर चीज का एक वक्त होता है.
और वो वक्त
सही वक्त को आने में भी वक्त लगता है.
जी.
It's a line from Brahmastra.
Okay. Okay, so we'll keep it maybe to another conversation.
सही वक्त पे कट लेना जरूरी होता है, नहीं तो गिले शिकवे होने लगते हैं. ये जवानी का लाइन था. So I think we should get into the next
Yes,
question.
yes. And Ayan, a lot has been spoken about the budget of Brahmastra. What do you have to say? I was seeing one interview as RK has explained how, it is split in 3 parts. Could you elaborate on that front, to clear all the...
No, it's good. It's good because to be honest, we live in a time where everything has become news, and there's so much. People have so much of a voice that things are being analyzed and scrutinized. That, to be honest, maybe was not the case a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, Brahmastra is a big budget movie. But when we started to create Brahmastra, we were not creating just part 1. It was an investment that we were making in
The foundation.
a trilogy. And in part 2 and in part 3. So a lot of our cost that we invested in part 1 is also invested in setting up the foundation, the writing, building assets, concept work on part 2 and in part 3. And then there was an idea which was always in my mind, but which really came to life while making Brahmastra, which is the idea for the Astraverse.
Yeah.
And I realized that we were, with Brahmastra, setting up the foundation of this mythology of all these other Astras. And therefore, we had created the foundation of a universe of cinema. So while we were working on Brahmastra 1, we were also suddenly working on other ideas of offshoots of Brahmastra. So I think the way that we are looking at it is as a much larger investment. To be honest, we have also not sat down and exactly ascertained what we are going to attribute to part 1 as the budget. And that's sort of it, basically. We are okay with, we understand the investment we've made, and we're looking at it, in a much larger way and not such a linear film one way, basically.
And Alia, I was watching one of the interviews where you said that you have a WhatsApp group where every feedback related to Brahmastra is shared over there. What is that common thing that you, in terms of feedback, that you three agree on, be it appreciation or criticism?
Oh, good
Experience
question.
as a positive.
Experience, yeah.
The word experience, I think that it is a ride and an experience, how much ever more you're liking it, less, issues that the film is a never seen before experience.
And I think the big surprise has been children. Like when we were working on the film, we never expected children to love this film. They're going once, they're going twice, they're going 3 times. And I think that's something that we never expected.
Yeah, I didn't think that they would honestly get it so much. I thought it would, start after a certain age, but I can tell that.
No, but you got it. Eventually you also said, which is like it turned out being even the relationship between Shiva and Isha turned out
very
being a very
ideal, like a fairy tale.
Like a Disney love story. It's not, it almost feels like doesn't happen in today's day and age where girl and boy just instantly fall in love. But that Disney-esque quality we discovered after watching the film for the final time, and you said some people and all, some older youth and all won't get into it. Remember you said that, but the kids, the amount of kids that are literally responding and lapping it up, and 10-year-olds, it goes from 3, 4, 6, 5, 8, 9, 10, and then and then of course above.
Yeah.
But I think that's great, because at the end of the day, if you're building this universe, you're basically having a whole generation grow up with the universe.
True.
But what about any other feedback that we all agree with?
Negative, we should say also, because we've got some feedback. So we've got a few feedback. One thing I've also heard a lot is that, especially as audiences are skewing older, some of them are even having a little bit of trouble perhaps understanding this sort of film. The genre of the film is very new. And I feel like some of those people, when they see the film for a second time, or go with, I can tell because, of my own parents having seen it. See, it's a very different and a very new film for our cinema. So the grammar of it and the syntax of it is not something that you're really used to seeing. But I can see that if they watch the film again, whenever they watch it, it'll be amazing if they watch it in the cinema. But even if they see it at home, I feel that the film will give them something that they missed the first time.
Yeah.
That actually happened with me when I,
You saw it twice?
I saw it thrice actually.
Wow.
So when I watched it the third time, the dialogues and everything, you get very used to it.
Right,
When
right.
initially वो आता है तभी लगता है that
थोड़ा कुछ खटक रहा था
हाँ,
हमको.
but when you watch it again, it's like, oh wow, okay, that's the world that
Correct.
yeah,
That's what.
You took like kind of commit and like surrender to the tone
Yeah.
and like okay, but when once you know this is what you're watching, I've had so many people come and tell
Yeah.
me this that first I felt this, but then I was like no, I was kind of enjoying it, then
Yeah.
I was not paying attention only to
Yeah.
it. Then you pay attention to other things.
other factors, yeah.
And in fact, a lot of the times when we were shooting, Ayan would say like maybe give us a direction. I remember once he's called me back to give a shot. And I was like, Ayan, why are you calling me back to give one close up? Because he wanted one expression.
Okay.
And I was like, why? And he said, Arey, people will see it for repeat watch, they'll catch something here. So
Okay.
he's hidden a lot of these Easter eggs. If you go and see again and again, you'll start picking up on new things.
New things.
You might find some.
Like somebody asked me, like, what is Isha's power and all in part 2. So I said, go and watch the film again.
RK, the last film that you have signed is Animal, which is way back in, I think, 2019. It has been 3 years. What are the sorts of scripts that you are looking at now? Like,
As of right now, I've finished 2 films after Brahmastra. That's
Yeah.
the Love Ranjan untitled film, and right now I'm in character prep for Animal. I'll start in a month's time. But I think I'm happy with this amount of work. We are also going the family way right now, so hopefully I'll get some time. I would like some time off. I've also been working non-stop for a long time. So that's the plan right now. I'm not in a hurry. I've not been hearing anything as of now. But when something comes, maybe I'll sign it. Not right now.
He's gonna stay at home so then I can go and. No?
That's the plan.
yes. and Ayan, this is one thing which just came in my mind while watching the film for the third time actually. Your character is Shiva, and in the second half you introduce Nagastra. Was there ever a thought to give RK the roop of Lord Shiva with all those elements coming in, or is that a plan in your mind for the other installment?
What do you mean the roop of Lord Shiva? Say it more and then I'll answer.
So you have shown a scene where he has a Trishul in his hand, but we have seen Lord Shiva with a snake on his neck and all those aspects, and you have an Astra over there which you introduce in the second half. Was there ever a thought in your mind to have that visual on the screen, or do you have it?
No, definitely. There are many other things in part 1. Like the reason we gave, let's say, Naksa, the Nandi Astra, is because in this Shiva school of philosophy, Nandi is a very important symbol for Shiva. Actually, even when we, there's a fight in the climax that we call our fire weapons fight, where he makes a gada and he makes a sword. And in our research, these were different weapons that were connected with Lord Shiva in some way. Definitely the final thing he uses is the Trishul.
Yeah.
So the entire Brahmastra trilogy, and definitely more so in part 2 and part 3, the idea is to use a lot of things which are connected with Lord Shiva.
Okay.
And yes, definitely we plan to go much deeper into it in part 2 and part 3.
Okay, that's interesting. And RK and Ali, this question is for you. I've been reading this a lot on social media. There are 2 characters which are going to be introduced in the second part, Amrita and Dev. As an actor, you have invested 5 years on the first part. How open are you to see, because those 2 characters are seeming very powerful so how open are you to see some other actor do a Dev or Amrita?
Well, I am super excited because we are also amongst the lucky ones who knows what the trilogy is and where this film is going to go. And we can't wait to get these 2 new great actors to play the part of Dev and Amrita. And also, having said that, I think, if I may say so for you also, for Isha, the character arc of Shiva and Isha during the next 2 parts of Brahmastra is amazing. We can't wait to explore that as actors, and also have 2 other energies on the film as Dev and Amrita. And I think it's just going to blow people's mind away what Ayan has planned for the next 2 parts.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Yeah.
I want to say something. So, the truth is that I think Ranbir and Alia have really got a very warm, very positive attitude about stuff like this in general. Even on part one, just in general as human beings, I think this is really important as well because they've always, in a way, put the film first.
Okay.
Before I'm a big star and what am I going to get out of it exactly for myself? And I think that it is a very wonderful attitude, allows for, Brahmastra 1 would not have happened only if it wasn't for this kind of generosity in their attitude. And also what I want to say is, I also think it's a really wise attitude because eventually that's what helps the film to be really good. And if we want to succeed and bring in a lot of people to the movies, the film has to come first.
Yeah.
You know, we have to understand that as an industry and as people working that the film, once the film works, everything works.
Totally.
You know, everything starts to work in it. The music, every actor in the film gets something out of that. And we need films to work and want films to work.
Yeah, I think going back to my first answer, at the end of the day, it's more the merrier, right? It's the magic of the movie. So the more magical elements and the more people and the more layers, like even somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan coming and doing this cameo in Brahmastra,
Has added so much to the film.
That was his generosity. You know, when he came out and look at the way the film began. It began with a bang. And even like Nag, Sir or whoever it is. So Avijay of course, but I'm saying that the eventual coming together of, you know, like-minded creative energies working towards one vision is such a passionate, exciting feeling. So we are like cinema students then. We are very excited. You know, so I want to actually, while Ayan is now, of course he's written, but when he's scripting, I'm going to go and sit on his head and just like hear him script, because I get so excited now. I'm like a
Actually, Roz Raat, Alia and me are actually making part 2 and part 3 stories in our head, and we're calling Ayan. What if ye hoga?
And then we're calling him clarifying.
Okay, last two questions, one for Ayan and one for the two of you. You know, we spoke of them thinking about the larger good in terms of the franchisee. As a director, you have this Astraverse which you are creating. You know, of course, the trilogy is yours, but when you give spin-offs to the character, as a creator, are you looking to delegate the spin-offs to other directors?
150%.
Nahi hoga.
No,
have to do it.
150%. There's no other way.
He has to do it, but before Ayan answers this question, let me just tell you that Ayan is like, he will not let the costume department eat a certain kind of meal without knowing what's there in the ingredients of that meal. So he's that human being, you know, and a lot of people tell him, a lot of people who worked in the industry, say for example like a Namit Malhotra who's worked in Hollywood a lot, you know, through DNEG, says that he has to delegate, but he just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, he says there are only 2 people in the world who work like this, James Gambling and Ayan Mukherjee.
No, but they're wrong. We're going to delegate. There's no other way to build it. The truth is that, you know, I feel to some extent I broke away from my own path by even taking on a film like Brahmastra. Just in having taken on this film, this was not expected of me after I had made Ye Jawani Hai Deewani. So I'm going to surprise everybody else again. There is no way to really achieve what I hope to achieve without a lot of collaboration. And I want to invite like people writing fan theories and definitely other young directors. If we get the opportunity to build the Astraverse, that dream of mine is probably even bigger and beyond the Brahmastra trilogy dream.
Do you want to like new directors and opportunity?
Of course, how else are we going to make anything else if we get the opportunity?
That's a great thing.
And you're open to like anything like on OTT, on television, or it's just 2 films, the Astraverse?
So I think those are questions for a later stage. You know, I'm definitely open, but that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, you know, you've got 2 films lined up next year. Alia, you have got, I think, multiple films lined up in the coming 1 year. You have Netflix, you have so many things. How do you view your next 1 year? And Aki, you returned to rom-com specifically after a very long time. So what got you over there?
Again, it's not gone by plans. You know, whatever opportunities that came my way as an actor, I picked the best. You know, you go wrong sometimes, you go right sometimes, but the only thing that you have is your experience and instinct, and that's what I'm following. And I'm looking forward. You know, both are very exciting films. Both are amazing films. I've had an amazing experience, and I hope that, you know, I don't disappoint the audience.
I think my biggest hit is coming out now, very soon. So I think my focus is now going to be for some time just my child.
Of course.
Our child.
Our child. So I'm going to focus on that for now, and then once that is like sort of settled, then I'll focus on the next move in life.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely speaking to you, and good luck for the entire Astraverse and all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramesh.